Our gardener Peter Dowdall is here to talk about one of his favourite things that we are all experiencing at the moment, and that is the lovely leaves we see all around the place. Isn't it a beautiful time of year, Peter?
It's one of the real colour bonanzas and an annual colour bonanza that nature brings every year. And I really think we're connected to the seasons. I really do. Do you feel we're connected to the seasons, Daithi?
I love the seasons. We were only chatting about this the last time, more and myself, about, you know, when the hour goes back and forward. That's changing next year or the year after, I think. And I don't like that at all.
Yes.
I don't like it.
I miss that.
I like the lovely long, dark evenings. I like all the leaves falling this time of year when it's supposed to be happening.
And I just think in the spring, you know, a switch goes off in each one of us. And, you know, the first colour bonanza, if you like, is the spring bulbs, the daffodils, the snowdrops, all that. Then, you know, I think a switch goes off in us as well as humans. We want to get back outside again after the long winter. And then in summer, everything's running at full tint. The bonanza is the summer bedding, the hanging baskets, everything. And then in the autumn, I don't know about you, but certainly me, I like to slow it down a bit.
Nice and calm, have the fire on in the evening.
And the colours reflect it.
Yeah.
And the autumn colours, it's a fabulous display. But you know what? It's because very often we don't pay for it. It's not like the hanging baskets and the winter bed. We don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we should, because it's all around us. It's
gorgeous.
gorgeous.
So
really
what actually happens then, Peter, outside that makes all this happen?
Nature, magic. It's well, the science of it is it's quite straightforward. It sounds a bit wordy, but the answer to all our problems lies in these, of course. It's the trees, because it takes the carbon dioxide out of the environment and it turns it into oxygen. Again,
simple as that.
Pretty much. It's photosynthesis. And again, because it's free, we tend not to have a value in it. But that's what trees and plants do. They take carbon dioxide out, they convert it into sugars, and they expel oxygen. Without them, we couldn't breathe. There'd be no life on Earth. But with deciduous trees, what happens is, now you're talking about the hour going back, if you like, nature's clock, the temperatures start to decrease, sunlight hours reduce. So the chlorophyll, which is in this leaf, that starts to break down and it stops turning the sunlight into sugars. And as a result, the chlorophyll is what gives the trees a green colour. So because that stops doing its work, all the other pigments, the anthocyanins and the carotene, which gives it the orange and red colours, they come to the fore. Okay. So the green breaks down and these colours...
The beautiful autumnal colours that we always talk about.
Look at them, aren't they just magnificent?
Absolutely beautiful. Can I ask you a question? Say, for example, people always talk about New England, I suppose.
Yes,
around fall time, as they call it over there, and all the beautiful colours we see there. How come we don't have as many beautiful colours here?
Well,
or do we?
Well, there you go. That's kind of apt that I picked this one up at the same time, because this is one of the trees that's synonymous with New England. This is the sugar maple. And I picked this up driving around a housing estate in County Cork earlier today, right? So New England is the quintessential place that we go to or we think of for fall colour or autumn colour, as we call it in this part of the world. And it is fantastic. I'm embarrassed to say I've been there, but I've never been there to see the autumn colour. Leaf peeping, it's called. There's a whole tourist industry built up around it. But I've never seen it. But I mean, obviously, I'm aware of it and how fantastic it is. There's certain things that come into play for autumn colours. So you've climate, you've soil type, you've what plants are native to the area, you've wind, because these are autumn colour is very, very temporary. Like you give something like that a good shake. I won't do it now on camera, of course. Those leaves would fall off with any good gust of wind, right? So these are the things that determine autumn colour. There's no reason really why the autumn colour in Ireland, we're in temperate zones, same as New England. We grow a lot of the same plants. For example, that the sugar maple, the dogwoods. The dogwoods are a real part of New England. That's a dogwood shrub now. But look at the colour in it. That's
beautiful colour.
Look at this. That's one called midwinter fire.
Will that be very, very green during the summer?
It's quite an insipid greeny yellow, But then it's called midwinter fire. I don't know if the camera will pick it up there, but see those stem colour. So you'll have the stem colour and then this lovely yellow. And again, I picked this up off the side of the road. I just people must have been looking at me going, "What's he at?" But that's that married gardener fella. I know him. But look at it. That's all around us in our hedgerows at the moment. So that's what you get in New England, and the dogwoods and the maples.
Because we had a storm earlier on, Peter, did that affect how fast the leaves were coming? Did they fall earlier this year?
Yes and no. So the storm we had was September, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
September.
It's not really going to have a huge impact on autumn colour. If it came the end of October, the reason for that, the reason I say that is because the leaves are still well attached to the trees during September. It's kind of as the temperatures are dropping, so it's from now on that the colour is there. And the term is senescence. So as the leaves enter senescence, they begin to fall and they change colour first. So it's now that they're only hanging on by a thread. So if we got a serious storm now, it'll shorten it.
Do you think autumn is kind of moving a small bit? You often find the autumnal colours staying a little later than they did maybe a good few years ago.
I think that's varying each year. If we got, I mean, if you remember when we had Ophelia, we didn't have autumn colour for too long. So it just does depend on the year. I think that it depends on the year and the storm. But what is affecting, in terms of climate, what is affecting our autumn colours? Look at the summer we had last year. That's 6 months of a heat wave.
Yeah.
That really, it was a glorious summer.
Yeah, beautiful.
But what that does then is that will reduce. So somewhere I bought a sample, I won't find it, of what happens to a leaf when it's not giving its natural autumn colour. So when it dries out. So at the end of a very dry period, if you like. What the tree will do, the tree loses water through its leaves by transpiration. So to react to the stress of drying out, it will drop all its leaves immediately.
Okay.
To reduce the water loss. So you don't get that lovely transient colour, it just goes from green to brown drop.
So that would have happened last summer because we didn't have as much water.
So we had very poor autumn colour last year, but we had a lot this year.
Well, we have fantastic pics here, Peter, from our viewers. Irene Townsend sent this one from Derry.
Oh,
look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Gorgeous.
Really, really nice. In a place called Curry Free. The next one is from Catherine O'Donovan. She is from White Cross in County Cork. What is that, Peter?
Oh, that's a conifer with a Virginia creeper going through it. Actually, that's the other thing, that you can get autumn colour from climbing plants.
Isn't it lovely?
You get them from climbers. That's a Virginia creeper. That's a green, but you see it just going that burgundy red, and that's what that photograph is. It's one of these growing up through the conifer.
Only a lot bigger. We have Michelle from Athlone sent in this one as well. A gorgeous picture. We have a lovely one from Ennis. This is the Ballyalla Lake in Ennis.
Spectacular.
So Teresa sent this in, and we have the final picture here from St. Stephen's Green, and Brenda McLaughlin sent that in. Isn't that really, really nice? Peter, just before you go, loads of leaves coming down in the next couple of weeks. What should we do with them? As opposed to, like, we don't want to throw them into the neighbour's garden or anything.
Well, the neighbours should be grateful if you do, because they actually create, it's part of the nitrogen cycle. The leaves will fall down, they'll turn into leaf mould and leaf mulch. It's the best thing you can add to the garden. Now, obviously, health and safety. So if they're on paths, patios, driveways, if they get slippy, they'll break your neck. But don't be in a rush to throw them out. And also, don't be in a rush. The garden doesn't need to be pristine or manicured or spotless during the winter. Leave the leaves. Don't leave them on the lawn, because that'll damage the lawn. But leave them, if they're falling in your shrub beds or on the soil, leave them
there.
Or else get yourself a big compostable plastic bag, fill it with leaves, tie it. 12 months later, you'll have this lovely crumbly.
See, I have a lovely hedge down the side of the garden, Peter. Should I get them and put them down?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Use them like that?
The best thing, they'll work as a mulch to stop the weeds, and then they'll break down. They become the best soil conditioner that you can't buy.
And there it was. I threw them away last year.
I'll take them off you.
Thank you, Peter. Peter, always great to have you, sir.
Thanks, Don.
Brilliant.